the technology gets to the point where, let's say that there's a camera on the boat and that links in with the autopilot to where it can detect an object in front of, the autopilot to sound a warning or take it off autopilot, or, disengage the boat that brings it back to idle, or like, I'm thinking there's some way to use AI or like technology in general in the software with the camera to detect an object to the point where it can, eliminate this issue that we've seen. I'm sure you've got tons of stories. We might even get into some stories of different boating accidents where people are not paying attention on autopilot, whatever, and boom, they run, they hit somebody.
Right, definitely. So yeah, the technology is kind of almost already here. It just needs to be implemented, and it comes down to who can implement it, properly, and cost is obviously another factor. I kind of compare this to how Tesla started, right? When Tesla first started, their autopilots were very simple. Like you had to still pay attention, you had to still put your hand on the steering wheel. It didn't do a lot of the things that it does now. Like now, 4 or 5 years later, they can pretty much self-drive. So you can literally put the address and say, I want to go here, and the car will take you there, right? And I think we're in the same process with boats where the early stage is already started. So you already have, like some sort of warning. You have some of these companies who are, already integrating AI into their cameras. And here soon, once all the hardware starts talking to each other, right? So if you have a Garmin autopilot, in theory, my camera would have to talk to the autopilot for it to know. And there's already radars and autopilots that talk together, that can, and then the chart plotter where you can put the destination and the autopilot will actually take you on the course. Now, it's cool, but also it's just like, it's a double-edged sword. The more tools you put out for the end user, the less attention they will pay, and basically make like Tesla. It makes me makes a lazy driver, right? And I don't ever recommend to anyone to like use these tools to like we hear stories, like you were saying earlier. I mean, we had stories where people will put an autopilot and go take a nap, and when I hear this, it's like, what? They're like, oh yeah, we just go 30 miles offshore, and after 30 miles, we just set the autopilot and we go take a nap. And that blew my mind. And then I told them my story about what happened to me. And they're like, oh, well,
Yeah,
which
that
part?
won't happen to me, like.
So yeah, I mean, the tools are really cool, but the way I looked at the tools is like, it's an extra set of eyes. It's not a replacement for a driver. Like, you should never rely on this technology and say, oh, it's good, I'm going to walk away. Because it's not. The reality is not. Even if we integrate AI into it, the AI could be wrong. It's not going to be 100% accurate, right? So I would not, go buy this technology to do that. For example, we had customers who have go fast boats, right? And they're like, how fast can I go? And my first question is like, well, how fast do you normally go? And it's like, oh, I do 60 miles per hour at night. And I'm just like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
you're 60 at night, like, where are you boating? And can you see everything? And they're like, no, but that's the thing, I want to go faster. It's like, I tell them this is not a tool to go faster. This is a tool to like kind of see what's in front of you, so you don't end up hitting it, right? So we always tell people to like use them as a safety device, as an extra set of eyes, not to put yourself and others in danger just because you have a tool. So that's how I put it. But yeah, the technology is pretty close. We're gonna have it, in the next, who knows, I would say 1 to 5 years. There's already a few companies doing it with AI. There's already a few autopilot companies out there that are innovating, and obviously we are innovating too, as a part where we can integrate AI in our cameras and do all sorts of cool things. Because let's be honest, if you go offshore and if you're driving 1 or 2 hours straight, no one is looking at the water the whole time. I mean,
Right.
you're gonna chat with your friend, you're gonna grab a bottle of water, you're gonna, yeah, you're sitting and you're looking, but if there is a floating log in the water, especially at night, you might miss it because no one is looking at it that closely. Where what the cameras can do is they can keep an eye on for you, with you, right? So if there's a floating log or something else, it's gonna alert you and grab your attention. So that's sort of our goal, basically. increase safety so we have less accidents in the water.
Hey there, sorry to take you away from the video, but real quick, did you know that on average a boat owner will spend between $1,000 and $5,000 a year just on servicing their engine? And you could actually pocket and save a lot of that money if you would just do the service yourself. It might seem like a daunting task, but I guarantee you virtually everyone can do it with our guidance and the Boaters program. This is just one skill that you could learn inside the program because we have hundreds of other videos teaching you all kinds of boating skills, as well as a weekly live stream where we have questions and answers with me, as well as a chat feature where you can send videos and pictures, ask all kinds of questions, or look for some advice or some guidance on a project that you're doing on your boat. You can join the program by hitting the first link in the description, clicking join, or visiting bornagainboating.com. Now back to the video.